everybody and get some booms in the chat. This video is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. And let's go. This is the playthrough for Rookie Division. For those of you that are playing from the front tee, I'm going to go over the 9 holes that you're going to play in the tournament and give you the best advice possible. If you haven't done it already, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, be a sub. If you do want to get the updated text guys, you can get them through patreon.com/golfclashtommy. So we're going to start off with hole number 1. Very important here guys that we do add 20% to our adjustment. That is so extremely important that that if we do forget about that, that is going to be a struggle for us to do well. So I'm having a Marlin and I'm playing with an XY level 5. And we're going to find a spot there on the side. You can see I'm having the yellow ring just by the rough there to the left. 2 bars of topspin. 2.5 bar of side spin to the right with the Marlin ball, which is max. Then from this case, we're going to adjust for medium distance of our club. And we are going to, as you can see here, adjust around 2 rings. Then I'm going to apply max curl to the right with XMI level 5, which is half of the ball outside the adjustment ring to the right. So we're coming down there very nicely, and we are going to get that that birdie that we do need to. Hole number 2, here we do need to get an eagle. It's very important for us here that we do go with at least 4 bars of topspin. I've been trying to play this one with 3. It's not enough. So 4 bars of topspin would be good. 4.5 even better. But for those of you that only have 4, then you play with 4. We aim at the top there. You can see with a second bounce in the center of the rough patch there in the front. Then we go with also 2 bars of side spin to the right to just get the ball to come in here. You can see there we were in minimum distance of our club, and I'm going to take off just a tiny little bit to underpower my shot a little bit. That is going to happen sometimes depending on how strong the wind is. But it's very important that when you in rookie are playing this hole, is that you're playing with a power 0 ball. And a power 0 ball is a basic ball or a Marlin ball. That's so extremely important, as you otherwise will be in between clubs. And if you're in between clubs, that is going to limit your opportunity to make an eagle. And we do need to make an eagle. And I do believe again that this hole is harder in rookie than it is in master, for an example. But you can see there we did get it to bounce in the rough to roll out. And there is no harm in not getting it to stay on the green. The importance is that we do get it to stay on the green or on the fringe or on the fairway just around the green. Because that is going to be a very good opportunity for the eagle. And that is something that we need to rely on our skill to get in the hole. Our opponent's going to go a different route, and that's okay. But the problem with that route is that many of the cases you're not going to have the backspin to do so, and you're just going to bounce over the whole place and get into the sand. And then the eagle, of course, is going to be a little bit harder. So when we do wedge this one in, I would like to say check down in the video description down below for the direct timestamps for this playthrough. Then you can skip to whatever hole you might want to watch. If you want to watch every single one, then you do so. You decide yourself. But don't forget that if you do have any questions, let me know in the comment section below, and I, together with my team, will be there to help you. Hole number 3. Now we are going to pull out the power 3 ball. We're also going to pull out the longest, or like the wood club with the most power, which in our case is going to be a big dog. Our opponent here is going to try to go directly over the rough and the trees there. I don't agree with that. I would say that try to play conservative and don't risk that much, because the worst case scenario, we're going to cut the rough, and either we'll roll out and be very short, or we're going to get stuck in the rough, and then the eagle is it's a very low percentage of players that do get that eagle, even if you play on the highest level. So here we go, and we change to the Titan. And Titan is not, again, for the first shot. not that necessary. As you can see, we're not even in max distance of our club, but the second shot is very important. Yellow ring just by the rough to the right. We're going to add 4.5 bar topspin, as that is the maximum topspin we have on the extra mile level 5. Max side spin to the right is that, because that is the max side spin to the right that we do have with the Titan ball. Then we apply max curl with the extra mile level 5, which is the ball just slightly outside to the right. And that goes for other clubs as well. Don't use more curl than half of the ball outside the adjustment ring to the right. Otherwise, you're going to most likely going to curl too much. You're going to over curl it and get into the bunker. There you can see there on the right. And now the thing with the Titan ball comes in very, it's so important that I can't stress that enough, that a Titan ball and the wood club that gives you the most distance is going to be so important. If you don't have the big dog or any other wood club that is having 175 yards or more, then you choose the one that is the closest, aka, but like, you use that one that has the most yards. That's so important. Here, I'm not going to go with any backspin, any topspin. I'm just going to let it be as it is. We are in maximum distance of our club. And if you wouldn't be reaching that far that I'm doing here, so you can see the second bounce on the fairway, if you still can see the second bounce being in the rough, then you need to put some topspin on. And there is no harm in getting like 1 or 2 bars of topspin, as that is still going to get you to the green, and it's going to be a longer putt, but it's still going to be a very makeable putt. Now I'm go with max side spin to the right, no backspin, no topspin. You can see here the green is slowing my ball down, falling back down towards the pin, and making a very easy putt for an eagle for us there. Hole number 4. Hole number 4 is going to be hard for players in rookie that don't have wood clubs with a lot of backspin. I would say that you do need to have at least 4 bars of backspin to be able to play this one properly, I would say. Otherwise, it's going to be just to focus, as now for our Andy here, our opponent, playing with a big dog, then it's just to focus to get the ball to stop on the green and have a putt for the pin. We are not going to, if we're not getting the second bounce straight in the hole, but that is just going to be luck. So I'm playing with the Guardian, and I'm going to play with the Guardian level 3, even though the ball guideline isn't that good, even though it's not a good club, it's going to give me the backspin. So you can see here I'm using 5 bars, and that is what I feel is the ultimate way here, but 4 bars would work as well. I'm having the red ring a little bit on top of the above the rough there on the bottom, and the reason I'm doing so is that I do want to have some room for a possible great shot that even if I lose some distance, I'm still going to hit the fairway. Aiming straight at the pin, nothing strange with that, and then we're going to hit this ball perfect, which is good. And you can see here now, even though we couldn't read the ball guideline that well, we're still bouncing very, very nicely. And here it comes back to 4 bars of backspin would be good. So we need to have in mind that for the tee shot for hole number 4, we need to add 10%. Very important. And when we add, it means that we're playing downhill and the ball is going to be affected more by the wind. So therefore, we need to add. Now we play hole number 5, and this is, in my opinion, a good opportunity to bag home an albatross. And getting an albatross in terms of like tiebreaker in the tournament, like if you finish with the same score as someone else in the tournament, then the tiebreaker rule is going to come into place. And then an albatross would be very good to have if you finish around people that have the same score as you're having. So here I'm going to make it easy for me again. And I'm going to play with a power 3 ball. And I do that on all the par 5s to not find myself in a position where I need to overpower. It's better to spend that and be more consequent with getting that ball on to the other fairway here, and don't have to push it that hard. Max top spin, which is 4.5, max side spin, which is 4.5 on the ball and the club. And then I go with max curl with extra mile level 5, which is around half the ball outside the adjustment ring to the right. And that is going to be absolutely perfect, and we'll lay up here for having a long iron in minimum distance for the rough bump. Also, for the drive, before we go for the approach here for the pin, is that you need to add as well 10% to your adjustment as we're playing it downhill, and the ball is going to be affected more by the wind. Very important. Now, for you that maybe don't feel that comfortable with the rough bump, I don't blame you, because it's an approach that it's aggressive, but sometimes we need to be aggressive, especially in tournament and especially on a position like this. And very important that you listen closely now how to set this up. You need to follow the distance that you do have with your club. And in this case, you can see we're coming just over to minimum distance of our club to the backbone that we do have. That means that I'm going to adjust for minimum numbers with our club. 2 bars of topspin always. You can see here with the yellow ring to just be by the rough there on top, and I'm having the tip of the ball guideline pointing just slightly to the right of the pin. Then we're going to take our note sheet or application or whatever we have, or our math head, and then we're going to adjust minimum numbers, which is going to be 2 rings with the level 7 guardian. Fortunately, I hit it great and I'm going to miss left, but with a perfect shot that would have been in the hole. But in the end, it's a very, very good opportunity for an albatross. But if you don't feel comfortable going with a rough bump, that you don't maybe understand my explanation, then of course try to go with a simpler, like with a less aggressive shot, I would say, directly on the green. But by knowing that that shot will not give you an albatross attempt, it will be just to secure the eagle by getting the ball directly to the green. So, hole number 6, par 4. And here I would like to play with a quasar. The reason I want to play with a quasar is that it gives me power 1, which is good. It also gives me side spin 2, and it's the side spin 2 that I'm looking for the most, especially for the approach shot. We always need to think the step ahead. We can play the drive with a basic ball if we want to, but then the second shot is going to give us be a little bit harder than we want to. Therefore, we're choosing a quasar to start with. Max side spin to the right, and then I'm going to play this one with 1 bar of topspin, as you see here. We might be to add a little bit more, as yeah, I do it actually. So 2 bars of topspin. You can see I'm having the red ring just by the rough on the right, and I'm playing with an extra mile that gives me a good amount of power. So adjust for in between medium and maximum numbers, but I would say adjust maximum numbers with 5% extra. Those 5% extra works for to compensate for compensate for the slight downhill approach. And now, when we get into that area that we are there, then we're going to have a very good and very fun opportunity for the eagle. And I like this approach, I really do. And but it's not our turn yet, so we're going to wait for our opponent. But the thing that I can say for the second shot is that even though it doesn't look like that much, but we do need to subtract 10% to that adjustment. Weird, but it works, and that's what we're looking for. So minus 10% is that we're looking for, because we're playing it uphill. Viper, level 7, max side spin, and I'm going to play with 3 bars of backspin. We need to take a look here in what distance we are with our club, but we're going to be in medium distance of our club. Then we need to, of course, try to visualize how the ball is going to bounce, and I want to aim slightly to the right of the pin. As for the side spin and the normal tiny push we're going to get from the wind. 2.9. Medium distance with the Viper with minus 10%, as we would be playing uphill, slightly more than 1 ring. Hit it great on the right, but this great on the right will actually keep us closer to the pin, as we're still going to miss it to the left. So the thing that we want to do, what is that? We need to move the landing position a little bit to the right. As for, we did hit it great to the right, which would push our ball a little bit too much to the right, but we still miss left. And that means that we're going to have to adjust a little bit more to the left, sorry, a little bit more to the right, as we were slightly under adjusted with the landing position. Now we come directly into the action, hole number 7. And first we need to have in mind that the shot here is going to be downhill. Therefore, we need to over adjust with 10%. So we need to add 10% to our adjustment, as the ball will be affected more by the wind. Here I'm playing with a mauling. You can play with a basic ball if you want to. You do not need to play with a mauling. I'm going to play with 2 bars of backspin, which is going to be the number here. I'm going to aim for the second bounce to be on the fringe. You can see here I'm actually aiming slightly to the right of the pin, which I didn't notice until I watched this now. But aim so the tip of the ball guide line is pointing straight at the pin. And then we're going to adjust for maximum distance with 10% extra. Hit it perfect. You can see how we're going to be so close. And now by watching this afterwards here again, it does make sense that we missed to the right, as the ball guide line was pointing slightly to the right instead. But in terms of power and distance for the shot, perfect. And we're going to bring that with us there. So, hole number 8, final par 4. And here again, we do need to get an eagle. That's just a must. 4.5 bar topspin, max side spin to the left. And then you can see here, I'm going to be in maximum distance of my club, but we do still need to use some overpower. I'm dragging my position up to try to visualize where my second bounce is supposed to be. And then we're going to have to apply some overpower. And in this case, I'm going to use just a tiny bit of curl to the left. And then go with around 60% of overpower. The problem we have here is I'm coming in way much to the right. But we still stay on the fairway, and that's what's important. Sure, best case scenario, going to be on green every single time. The problem is that the rough bump that we are going to do is very inconsistent. And one day we're going to have a dead bounce and the ball is basically going to die. Some other time the ball is going to roll massively through and get to the back of the green or like fairway fringe on the back. And sometimes we're going to get a very consistent bounce and be very close to the pin. But the thing that we do want to do is to get it to fairway, get it to fringe, or get it to green. If we can do that, then we have a wedge, and that is a wedge that we need to be able to dial in. Worst case would be to get into the rough like this, like our opponent, and then of course it's going to be way harder. Also, go with a little bit more curl than I did. Half a ball of curl to the left wasn't really enough. We didn't go with that as curl. We did go with a little bit less. So then go with that half a ball of curl to the left. You can see here, now I'm just lining up, using the yellow rain to just be a little bit on top of the hole here. And then I'm going for the dunk. And the dunk is very good and helpful tool, especially when we do not have that good ball guideline. Good ball guideline there. So my drink is out. Hole number 9, last hole, last par 5. Let's get this eagle. Again, very important for the tournament that we do get this eagle. So let's go. Max side spin, and then I'm going to play with the, it's like I put 2, but I'm going to play 2.5. 2.5 bar is going to be good. I would say like 3 would be even better, but in the end 2.5 would be, I would say, a risk-free way to play with topspin, as we will not roll into the rough on top. It might be too much with 3 bars of topspin if we would be having, let's say, a 5 mile per hour with a Titan, if we would be getting in such a high wind. We adjust for maximum distance of our club with 10% extra. So we over adjust with 10%. Max curl which is half of the ball outside the adjustment ring to the left for our extra mile level 5. You can see here we're coming in very nicely here. We do have some more room on the fairway, and the closer we are to the top and the closer we are to the left side, the easier second shot we're going to get. But even if we get close there, it's not going to be easy. So I just mean that it's going to be easier. But definitely going to have an opportunity here to go and get this eagle. And that is what we're going to do. Come on! Come on! Second shot. The Titan is very, very valuable to have that power 3. Also, our wood club needs to be the club with the most yards in distance in terms of stat. I'm going to play here with 3 bars of backspin. That is a little bit too much. Play with 2. 2 bar is going to be well enough, and that is not going to give you short, it's not going to get you long, it's going to get you pretty close to the pin. But here as well is the method that many are asking for. I'm dragging my adjustment out to visualize where my ball, or like putting myself in a position where I want my ball to land. Then I adjust my rings when I have it stretched out to picture how much overpower I need to do. And that is of course a little bit more technical, but it helps tremendously to try to picture how much overpower we need to get. Now I'm using 1 bar too much of backspin as I said, and therefore we go a little bit short, but 2 bars of backspin with that would be perfect. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this playthrough for Rookie Division. Rookie Division, I picture us to get a -14 as a regular score. Sure, there's going to be lower scores to qualify, but to be able to win, we need to get up there to a -14 for 9 holes. If you, in that case, do have any questions, let me know in the comment section below. If you do want to get the updated text guides, which is going to explain in detail these shots you're going to take in Rookie in text form, so you can use it when you play, check out patreon.com/golfclashtommy to sign up for them. Also, the video here is sponsored by Golf Clash and Playdemic. Good luck in the Winter Slopes tournament.